Hey everyone, welcome to the Tea with Meal Spouse Conversations. How are you doing this week? How's it going? Oh, we had a wonderful conversation. And I'm so excited and a little sad at the same time to have this conversation, but I'm going to get past my tears and talk about parenting beyond the nest. When our babies, those precious little babies, become grown, responsible adults. I think they're responsible. But we're going to dive into this conversation. But before we get into that conversation, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to our sponsor, USAA, for making it possible to bring Meal Spouse Conversations to you once again this year in 2024. So thank you, USAA. Everyone in the comments say, thank you, USAA. Yay! And if you didn't know, USAA does have a resource hub for military spouses. All right. So USAA.com/military spouse, or head on over to mealspouseconversations.com, click on USAA, and it will take you right to their page. All right. Conversation starters, are you ready? You ready? I see Nashida shaking her head. How you doing today, girl? Wait, you muted. You're muted. Okay, Julie, how you doing today, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pumped. I don't know if I'm so excited, if I'm pumping myself up so I don't cry during this conversation. Thinking about our adult children. So, ladies, how old are your children? Your adult children?
I have a 19-year-old.
19?
I have a 19 and then I have a 17, which isn't technically an adult, but it's coming.
It is very close. Who said I'm fake cry? Who said that? Fake cry. I'm not going to fake cry. Look, I looked forward to the day that my kids left the house. Did y'all think that like when they were babies? Were you excited about them becoming
No.
adults? No.
No.
It was so far in the future. I feel like
I don't like adults.
Really.
I like little kids. No. I was like very excited to have a little kid in the house.
My mama, she said,
She said,
I'm
I'm
not
crying, Sybil.
It's it always be your family.
No, I like adults, but I like kids. I was always really firm. Like, I'm going to enjoy these years because they're going to fly by. Because my childhood flew by and I felt like his was going to do.
What about you, Julie?
Speaking of young adults, someone's making lunch, but I don't remember thinking about it too much. I guess I just assumed it would happen someday in the far future, and I was in it, in the crazy of the little kid thing. So it was kind of like, yes, that will happen, and maybe like I had some ideas of how it would look, but
yeah, same.
So what you expected and the reality, is it close by any means?
Mine is spot on.
Yours is spot on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do elaborate.
Well, I mean, I guess I say spot on just because I know my kid. I don't know. I just figured that it would go the way it's going, and it is. I don't know. Nothing. It's not like a big deal or anything. Nothing happened. I did have that moment where I was like, "Oh my god, please leave." But then I was like, "What am I doing?" None of that.
So, how do you balance? I don't want to say being overbearing, but okay, we won't use the word overbearing. We know when they're teenagers and in high school, right? We set some rules with them, and they're rules that we expect them to follow and to respect in your home. But as they become adults, how have you balanced that relationship and that boundary?
Julie?
It's not easy. It's hard because you don't want to be you don't want to just be like, see ya, but you also don't want to be overly like. And what I've always tried to do, my parents were very like middle of the road, like not too strict, not too loosey goosey, and I really enjoyed that. Like, so I had the freedom, but I also knew that they were like watching out for me too. It wasn't like sink or swim. Um, and it's interesting, like going back to your first question about expectations. It's like, I guess I just maybe in the back of my head, just assume that my kids might do what I did, which I left home at 18, 2 months after high school graduation, and that was like I could not wait, you know. And my kids are choosing. Well, my oldest is doing things a little bit differently. So he's going to college, but he's living at home. So it's very different from how I did it. And like when I was his age, what I was doing is very different than what he's doing. So, but at the same time, you know, he is, you know, going out into the world, going to school, working, like that kind of stuff. So it's just a different. It's different when they live at home versus when they're not at home, I think.
Yeah. So my oldest is not home. She is. We're in two separate countries now, and she's been home. So she is technically classified as a junior for college, but you're a sophomore because it's her actual second year in school, but because of high school classes, she's a junior. And the times that when we were living in San Diego, she came to visit, and that was hard because she was used to coming and going as she pleased. And I'm like, whoa, where you going? Who you going with? Your friend? Who's your friend? You don't tell me your friend. I need a name.
Like, Mom, I could be out at till 5 a.m. back at school. You would have no idea. And like the whole thing is like, but that's the point. We would have no idea. But like you're in our home, you're coming home at 5. We have like we're aware of what's happening. So it's
yes. And even with her being away, so some may think I'm being overbearing, but I am being a mom. I'm like, you don't have to tell me everywhere you're going, but if you and your friends go out of town, just let me know where you're going. Give me a phone call or a text. Let me know you're going. So last year for spring break, she went to visit a friend. Hey, just let me know. You're not going to be on campus. You're going away for spring break for that week. That's all I need to know. And I'm like, call me once a week, twice a week. And now we text. Like, we'll just text each other. Our conversations are totally different than when she was not an adult. I put adult in quotes because I'm like, you're not an adult until you paying your own bills. 100% paying your own bills. Nishita, what you got to say? Because I see your eyes over there. I know you got something to say.
Nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say.
So, when your son, does he have to?
Nope.
He comes and goes.
I don't care. Like, what I'm saying. I was a pretty laissez-faire parent. Like, I don't know. He's been out on the streets since he was little. But he never did anything, so I don't have any reason to like be overbearing. He's always pretty much, kids have their secret stuff they do with their friends, but for the most part, he pretty much was never a secretive kid. He always had his door open. When he's on the phone, he's not. It was no reason for me to, I guess, feel like I had to hover over him, I guess. Because I never hovered over him when he was little either, but maybe I started way too early on him. I don't know. I'm pretty laissez-faire parent. If he come and go, I don't care. Sometimes I'm like, but we do, we all track each other on our phones. So if he's gone too long or something happened, we have all our location data and stuff. It's not like when we were little, we were just out,
Our parents had no idea and no one was doing.
There's a lot of, we live in a surveillance society now. So it's not like you can't know where they're. I don't check to see, but if I needed to know his last location, I'm pretty sure I would absolutely know if something happened. Even if he left the country, I would know he was not in the country. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute.
He's a person. He has his own life. Like, I wouldn't want anybody, and I didn't want everybody following me around when I was an adult. You don't want people just because you're someone's parent doesn't give you the right to their autonomy. Doesn't give you the right to just be. For me, I don't feel like I have the right to be all in his life like that because he has his own life.
Nah, if you live in the country, I need to know that. I need to know that.
I absolutely don't need to know. I mean, he can tell me if he wants to, but if he doesn't, and one day he calls me and he's like, I'm in France or something, I'm gonna be like, what you doing in France? That's the type of parent I am. What you doing? How'd you get there? When'd you get there, boy? What you doing? That's me. I'm not gonna be like, you didn't tell me he wasn't go. I don't care. Like, I feel like he doesn't have to tell me. It's really not my business, actually, to me.
Nah. See, even as your friend, I want to know that you are leaving the country.
Why?
Just so I know that you're okay. If I'm
calling, what are you gonna do with that
you,
information?
I think if my child had his own money, like I'm not footing the bill, own money, took off, like got his own passport, took off for Europe, I would be like to my friends, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so worried he's in Europe. I'd be like, it's okay.
Yeah, I trust my son. I think he's a competent person.
But
I don't worry about him too much when he leaves the house.
But I would be like, okay, it's your own money, but I would still worry. But I'd worry like if my parents went to Europe. So
right.
I mean, even if it was my money, I wouldn't. I don't know. I just never been like that. Maybe because I valued my autonomy when I was young. Maybe that's.
And well, if it's my money, I'd be like, why are you in Europe and I'm not?
Yes, I might be jealous. I might be like, wait a minute. Can I come visit?
My credit card bought the ticket, but wait.
Well, then I mean, I could do
actually, that. The funny thing about the credit card buying the ticket, Julie, so our lovely child flew to Bahrain for Christmas. So she's coming through the, exiting the airport thingy, whatever it's called. And she's like, hi, family. I went Christmas shopping in London. And we're like, oh, she's like, I bought all of you gifts. Oh, we're all excited. And we're like, but wait a minute. With American Express. Okay, thank you. I guess.
I don't see the difference in that when a wife buys her husband stuff and she don't work. What's the difference?
Well, that's a whole nother topic.
That's a
It
whole.
is, but what I'm saying is, where the money comes, we're all a family. Who cares where the
Yeah,
money comes?
it was her excitement, right? She like, oh, I bought
Yeah,
y'all
because she picked it out herself.
and we're like, oh, but y'all know what?
What?
My Christmas gift was for her.
Hmm?
It wasn't for me. She said it was for me, but
What was it?
she kept it.
She kept it.
I was like, what? But when it comes to, so we know we like to give our kids freedom. We can all agree on that because I do, like my child, she doesn't have to tell me where she's going. Again, I tell her, let me know, because you don't know these people. These are other kids you met in college. Who you going with? I need to know.
But that's not gonna make you know them just because you know their name.
Nah, but if she ends up missing, I have a name to start with.
Yeah, true.
I mean, just saying. Just saying. So, how did you prepare your adult child? Because I will tell y'all this. So, my middle, she's graduating this year, and she will be leaving the nest as well. And I will tell y'all, this one hit me much harder than my first. It did. I'm like, oh, I'm like, are you sure you want to go? And I don't know if it's because my child, I love her. One thing I asked of her, if you go to an SEC school, make it the University of Tennessee.
She did not listen.
She did not listen.
Well,
maybe that's why my heart is hurting so much. I don't know. But how have you prepared? How did you prepare your child for this new phase of life for them as an adult? You want to think about it? Okay, both of you think about it. We're going to go to this segment, Street Tea. I'm going to see if I can get this video up here that Nishita wants to talk about. We're going to talk about it, girl. We're going to talk about it. You ready?
After she got off from work. I don't want to hear shit when I get off from work. I don't want to hear no noise, don't ask me no questions. Don't even call me after I get off from work. I couldn't imagine coming home to two badass kids talking about what we finna eat after I got off from work. I just couldn't imagine it. I just got off from work today and I want nothing more to come home to a quiet house. I don't even want nobody to say, how was your day at work? That's just how long my day was. My mom used to hide in the car when she got off from work and just listen to music. I used to be like, why is she doing that? I just got out of the car. I've been in there for 30 minutes trying to conjure up the energy and the mic to go in the house. Because it's just like, that's all I can say about my day at work. Like, I'm tired. Like, don't ask me no questions. Don't even speak to me. I don't got time for that. It takes me about 2 to 3 hours to adjust. And by that time, it's time to go to bed. Yeah, I never really understood.
All right, Nishita. What you want to talk about with this?
So if y'all missed the first part, he said he never understood what his mother was going through, his parents went through when they would come home from work and they didn't want to talk to nobody. They didn't want to be bothered. And I'm opposite of that. Like, I'm at work thinking, I can't wait to get off work because I got some cheese, man, about the work to talk about. Like, I can't wait to get home. I can't wait to cook and eat and talk and watch TV with the people I miss these people I was in the house with, and I want to see them. I'm so opposite. And my husband's the total opposite. He's like the dude he need a minute, he need a shower, I come in ready. Hey y'all, what y'all or let me tell you what happened today. All the time, like all the time.
Nah.
And it's so funny. My son works now, and he's kind of like, you know, the same. I'm like, what you do at work? Da-da-da.
No. Do not talk to me. We used to have 15 minutes of silence.
Ooh.
When I would come in from work, don't talk to me for 15 minutes. Don't do it. It was time out. Everyone was in time out for the first 15 minutes when I walked through that door. Talk to me. Ooh.
What about you, Julie?
Well, I work from home, so when my husband gets home, I'm like, someone to talk to. And I have to fill him in on the day's events.
Right, exactly. That's how I am. I'm like, you don't want to talk about what happened. Like, because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I work in some messy place, like stuff be happening. I'm like, the whole day, I'm like,
What was I was telling him something yesterday, and he's like, why are you telling me this? And I was like, because I have no one else to tell.
Exactly.
And it needs to be spoken out loud.
Right, exactly. That's how I feel.
No one else will care. You have to sit and listen.
You better. You signed up for this.
You gotta listen.
I have a contract that says you will listen to me.
You will listen.
But I am and kind of am not a morning person. Like I need about 20 minutes in the morning to like drag myself out the bed and like get around. That's my time when I'm kind of like, don't ask me for nothing. My brain is not on right now.
Like after dinner is after dinner, I'm like, okay, I am done. I am in my room alone. Leave me alone.
I'm exhausted after dinner.
Yeah.
Too, because I cooked it. Like I had to come in and cook it, and then I clean the kitchen. I'm exhausted. I'm just usually sitting there like watching the TV. But if something good comes on the TV, I get my energy back. Did you see that? Oh my God! You know, I'm talking during the show. My husband's like,
see, yeah, and you would be in trouble at my house because we ain't talking through no show.
You can pause it for what? Like, I don't understand. Like, ever since they made the pause button, there's no reason not to. Like, because then they want to talk to you after the show. I forgot what happened. I'm ready to go on about my business. I remember what happened on the show.
No.
Okay,
let's go back. Let's circle back to the topic at hand and the question. How did you prepare your children for this adult phase of life? As this one over here, hold on real quick. This one over here going to comment.
That's funny.
Do y'all know what hottie toddy is?
I do not, but I take it to be a dig of some kind against you.
Yeah. her school, where she's going to school.
Oh.
That's what they say, hottie toddy. Hottie toddy, hottie toddy.
So.
Congratulations, Ayla.
Mm-hmm.
I
guess
I want to drop my baby off.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out because it's like I've never done this before, and I've only done it from like my point of view when I was a kid, and it's like a different world now and a different personalities and different type of kid. So, I don't know. It's just I kind of play it by ear or by when different things come up, you know, like, and that's hard too because it's like I want to teach him like how to fill out a job application, let's say, but it's like you don't want to be like, this is how you have to do it, but then you also want to be like, this is how you have to do it. It's complicated because it's like when do you teach and then when do you just let them learn?
Yeah,
you know, and it's not always easy,
right? It's like how much help do you give and when do you pull back to let them fall a little bit, right? I'm like, scrape those knees.
Yeah.
I know for us, our biggest focus was on the financial side of things. So, from when they were probably 10, we started doing allowances.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of parents, they're like, we're not doing allowance,
We
but
do allowance too.
we did an allowance for them to learn to manage their money. And now with them going off to college, is that my phone?
No,
Is that my
sorry.
Oh, that's you. Okay. I'm like,
turn.
all right. So our oldest and our middle, Miss Hottie Toddy over here, will get a credit card that is attached to the family credit card to help them build their credit, but they also have to pay it. So they have their own separate account, but it is attached. So we can't see their balance. But I'm like, hey, you charge it, you better make sure you can pay it. Now like I said, we started with our oldest. It was her senior year. Just to try to set her up for when she did go off to college, to understand that, hey, you have a budget that you have to stick with. There is none of this. I'm just going to keep swiping. Welcome to the real world, honey. If you ain't got the money in the bank, then you don't need it. And you have nobody's job. Your job is a student. That's your job. What about you, Nishita?
He's gonna have to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like just push him out into the world, but I mean, I would say since he was about 10, like Civil, he had a phone and he had a debit card, and I worked, so he was just kind of responsible for himself. But I mean, I was right by the house. I was like a walk away from the house, like a block away from the house. But I don't know. I think he made a lot of financial mistakes early, like when he was little, and had to suffer the consequences. But I've also never been like really strict with money. If he needs some money, I give him some money. If he doesn't need money, I don't give him money. If he needed help because he got himself into something, or he made a couple of mistakes that was like, and he was like, oh, and we kind of just made our way through it, and he learned from that. But as far as him leaving, I guess if he asks me for my advice, I give it to him. If I think he might need some advice, but he's not asking me, I'll check in with him. Hey, what's going on with this? Maybe give him a long-winded la la la. He's like, why are you talking to me about that? But I just think as far as like a credit card, if he wants a credit card, he can get it himself. He's not going on my credit card, and I'm not getting him one. He could get it for himself when he could get it. So he gets offers all the time, but he doesn't get them. So I'm proud of him on that, because he's like, no, I don't need that right now. Like, I'm not doing that right now. I'm doing this. So he has his own way. Like, I'm doing this right now. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I'm doing this right now. Okay. Now, other things, I'm like, asking him to make decisions. He's a Libra. That's hard. They're always indecisive. So they're always like, I don't know. But he's like that. He's just kind of like, sometimes he knows and sometimes he doesn't. But I like to give him a lot of space so that he's running his own life, and I'm not running his life for him or giving him the answer to every problem. Just let him figure it out, because he, after 25, frontal lobe is all closed up. Like, you had all your, you know what I mean? You're an adult now. You're 25. I feel like anytime before that, it's a lot of learning to do, and just like scratch them knees up while you have support, because we're going to support him. I didn't have that when I was his age, but he does. So go out there, make mistakes, do whatever. Not whatever, but
I'm like,
his whatever is very, he's a pretty responsible person. So I just believe in like live your life, and then make sure if you need anything or you get in trouble, you call us. Don't be out in the world talking to everybody else. Call home. We have answers for you. We live with you your whole life. We know you. They don't. So call us first.
And I think it's important with adult children to have I don't know. I know for me, my relationship with my oldest changed once she did become 18. And just as my middle. And when our youngest, when they get 18, that relationship will change. But I'm like, hey, the same as you said, Nishita, call if you need something. And you brought this up 2 weeks ago about saying, parents saying, I'm not your little friend. I did tell my kids that when they were like, hey, watch your tone. You're not going to come talking to me crazy or cussing when you're talking to me. Be respectful. But I do know, actually, my husband is like, you get all the tea conversations. And I'm like, what? Because our daughter will call and she's like, hey, mommy, I want to talk to you. Okay. I know right then this is a mother-daughter conversation. Usually it's nothing. It's just mother-daughter conversation. And she's like, can I talk to you like my homegirl? I'm like, only if I can respond like your homegirl. She's like, Because she's like, no, can you respond like my mom? Because homegirl, ooh, you a little, I'm like, well, you told me you wanted me to be your homegirl. So, back in my day, this is how we handled things. Because she asked me one, should I stay in and study or should I go to a party? You want me to answer this as your homegirl?
Like, you do what you want to do.
I was like, oh, we're going to the party. I'm going to go get dressed. Y'all didn't think that was funny. I was partying. Mama, when I was in college, I was partying all the time.
That was right on cue.
Which, with parenting adult children, I remind my kids, I was 19 once. There ain't nothing new that's going on or that you're doing. Like, been there, done that.
Adult children is an oxymoron. They're either adults or they're children. You can't be an adult child. If you're an adult child,
you're my adult child.
Right. You're my adult child.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing.
You're my adult child. You
How
are
is that?
child. You are
They're an adult offspring. They're not your child. A children is to a certain age. They're not children anymore.
You are still my baby.
They're not your baby. You have to have another baby to have a baby.
Oh, no. That shop is closed. No.
My shop is empty. Got vacated.
Yeah, but you know what? We need to have a part 2 on this because there were some other questions that I wanted to touch on that we did not get to touch on, but like really dig deeper into this. So we're going to say this is our intro episode of parenting adult children. And then we're going to dig deeper. Yeah?
How deep?
Right?
What's so deep about it?
Oh, you can get deeper. Like this.
We're just in the shallow end right now. We're just in the shallow.
In the shallow. In the shallow? This is the shallow end?
Yeah. So for everyone watching, make sure you connect with us on all of our social media. So you will know when we bring part 2 of this episode. And you know what? We'll also have the conversation. We'll have a virtual event and talk more about this.
About parenting, I don't have any more to. I don't have a deep end.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I don't. I promise.
You've just been playing.
I only had one, and it was a boy. It was pretty easy.
Oh, see, look. As a mother of three daughters,
You had 3
I
girls.
have some questions for you on raising that one boy. See, we could get really deep, but
I don't have anything deep to report.
All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful, fabulous, amazing day. I'm going to bed.
Good night.
Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Share with your friends. Tell your friends about Mill Spouse Conversations. We have some great things going on in 2024. And we don't want you to miss out. You don't want to miss our fun. And you do not want to miss our event that is coming up this Friday. So head on over to millspouseconversations.com, click on events, and go register. It is free. It is all about self-care and makeup. We're going to have a good old time. Yes, y'all, a good old time. And make sure you're paying attention to our Facebook page and our Facebook group because we have a birthday giveaway. Yes, every month we give a $25 gift card to a military spouse. Yes. Actually, we have 2 gift cards. So 25 and a 10. So $35. You can win $35 from Mill Spouse Conversations. Oh, my dog is trying to come in here. Come on, Tiana. And that is all made possible by our sponsor, USAA. So don't be toddy to the party.